It's the most successful Italian player ever to grace the squash world. Davide Bianchetti.
Hello to everyone, but Joey, I don't know what you're talking about.
What, lets and strokes and no lets and tangling up and infringements and traffic problems?
Well, I was never the problem. The problem was always the other guy, and the ref and the referees, of course. I mean.
Well, Davide's had more fines than most squash players have ever had on the PSA World Tour in one go. But Davide, it's wonderful to see you here. And just quickly, what are you doing with yourself these days?
First of all, thank you for introducing me like that. I'm coaching a little bit. I'm still around playing leagues. Actually living here in Switzerland, part-time, 3-4 days a week. Then back to Italy. I'll help my dad a little bit working with his company. Still playing a little bit, not too much. You know, and pretty much it. And coming here, like, see some friends, meet some guys that I don't see anymore that often, and enjoy a bit of squash.
So Davide, quickly, while Johnny has a bit of a rest on his voice, he's coming in very soon. Your prediction, score for this, come on.
For this one?
Yeah, who's going to win what score? Come on.
3-love, Shabs.
3-love, Shabs, awesome. I love the way you don't beat around the bush. Johnny usually ums and ahs and starts being a politician, but he's, yeah, 3-love.
Wow.
Pretty clear cut. Well, Davide, thank you for just quickly appearing on SQUASHTV, and I'm sure I'll see you later, but I'm sure I'll come across you very soon in the leagues, and thank you for all the hassle you've given me over the years.
It was my pleasure for everything. See you later, ciao.
Ciao. So now we have Mr. Williams coming back into the fold, and Shabana started off like an absolute firecracker here, Johnny.
Surprise, surprise, Joey. You really put Davide on the spot there, asking him for a prediction on this match. The bookies on Bet365, I'll just have to check the odds, but the protege or the apprentice will be at extremely long odds. And what I find, I haven't seen Shabana play live for many, many years, Joey. I haven't been live at any PSA events, and I've just sitting here in the commentary box, but I've got the pleasure of watching him in action again. And I'm wondering what the secret is, and that's just clipped off the toes. In cricket terms, it will be a little off drive, as he just flicked that above the tin. But he's so nimble and so quick. I'm wondering if you could inform me a little bit about the training habits of one Amr Shabana, four-time world champion, now 34 years of age.
Thank you.
Well, in his early mid-career, he didn't really do much in the gym at all, and then he started having real problems with his knees, and at one stage, Johnny, it looked like he was going to pack it all in, and then he made a massive effort 2 summers ago to get his body completely and utterly ripped and strong. He went crazy on core stability, got his weights up, strengthened his legs to take pressure off his joints, and lightened himself as well, if you know what I mean. So no body fat. He always had a little bit around the midriff, but he leaned himself and strengthened.
I'm surprised that didn't go up, mate, to be honest.
Sorry, mate, I'm just cracking on here. And he's got a new lease of life, and he's always one for proving people wrong. He was never meant to win a world championship from outside the top 10, he did. And then he won another 3, and then, oh no. He just caught him.
Now 6-1.
What happened there?
You see how easily he read that cross court.
Just caught him a little bit as he came through. And also, Johnny, he's now with a new racket company, and ever since he's been using those rackets, he's been unstoppable.
That is the world famous I brand I've heard about. Company which I don't know a lot about, but I'm sure you're going to tell me a little bit more as we move along here. Shabana has bolted out of the gate here at 6-1. Oh, nice hold there from Abouelghar, showing some of the stuff he brought in the first round when he defeated Cameron Pilley.
And down 2-6.
Marvellous effort that, beating a player ranked 40 places above him in the world ranking. It's always a big psychological win in your career to beat someone of inside the top 20, and he's young and aspiring to get up there.
And out. No let.
That's a correct decision for me there, Joey. With that ball straightened up. Inch perfect on the sidewall. Again, he's just caught him with a forehand hold. and cross court to the back of the court. He's got a strong wrist on him, this boy. He's strong thighs and a strong wrist. And given that he is working together with Amr Shabana, he's going to be learning a lot about the attacking area of the game, which he's already doing quite well, obviously, but to move higher up into the top of the world rankings, he will need to develop his front court game. He's managed to peg himself back here to 4-7. Actually, the guest that you just had on, Davide, the fiery Italian, who actually has got a bit of an Aussie accent. I don't know if you picked up on that. He spent a lot of time at Reading training with Anthony Ricketts and Boswell back in the day when he was learning the ropes, coming on the PSA Tour, and he picked up an Aussie accent.
Yeah, a little bit. He always, when Davide speaks, I mean, it's obviously very high pitched and gets really screechy when he's complaining with the referees. I mean, he's always freaked me out. A good friend of mine, but his eyes used to pop out of his head when he was arguing, and he used to get paler and paler. And strangely, that hair of his used to get drier and drier as the match went on. It's bizarre.
That is bizarre.
So he always looks completely and utterly crazier than ever. But when he talks, it's always like he's got a load of bread in his mouth.
Well, you know, like... it's always the referees, you know?
But a wonderful character and a very, very, very good squash player.
We still see him around the traps in the Swiss League. I can tell you he had a win over Raiko Peter this season in Swiss League, so he's still playing a very good standard for a guy who's, I think he's 35 now. Shabana's giving his young apprentice the full tour of the court here, free of charge. Dragging him forward and then back. And well, there you go. That's 3 so far this game. Quick hold on the forehand. Shapes to play something straight, and then he just turns it lovely with the wrist again, and he caught Shabana there.
Down.
Shabana's taking things quite easily here, Joey. Doesn't want to take his foot off the pedal too much though. Well,
7-8.
we're back to 7-8 here. I didn't expect this.
No, but then it's one of those evenings. It's one of those evenings, Johnny.
We had one.
Oh wow, it's 8-all now.
We've had one let request, by the way, so far.
Yeah, exactly. I said that though. That was obvious. We're not going to have hardly any of those situations. Shabana just trying to get himself going again.
Well, he's trying to match him here, which
slightly risky.
Very ambitious.
It's good hitting to length though from Abouelghar when he does. This is what happens when you get the ball away from the middle of the court and really expose into those 4 corners. The players don't. Oh my goodness me! That is a scandal. That is an absolute scandal. Check this out. Thanks for coming.
Down 9-8.
He has nailed that from the back of the service box. It rolled flat. I mean, he's not allowed to do that with that kind of angle. It just shouldn't be possible. But a lot of his shots defy all types of mathematical laws. Oh, he's rolled that up beautifully. I played Amr Shabana once, a long time ago. Crowds enjoy. You can hear the crowds come to life again, Joey. They've woken up.
Well, they should. I mean, it's just a joy seeing it, isn't it?
They're
Both
loving
players.
this.
I mean, Abouelghar's playing superbly well as well.
10-8.
He's responding. He's got no pressure. He's come in from qualification. He's in the quarterfinals of a pretty major event. 2 game balls though for Shabana for this first. And he's gone for the corkscrew. Why not?
As you would, wouldn't you?
Oh, and then he had him shut out big time there.
9-10 game ball.
Oh, hello. I'll tell you what, that is not a bad answer. He's had to
Right side.
be on the back end of, or on the receiving end of
Tunnel,
some
about to win by 10
unbelievable
points.
shot making, and then he comes up with a pretty good shot himself to go into a tiebreak here. He's completely relaxed, the young Egyptian, and he should be. He's got absolutely nothing to lose here.
Now,
Well, that is another unforced error.
11-10, game ball.
So Amr Shabana, after having massive dominance early on and then 2 game balls, is facing game ball down in this tiebreak. Oh, he squeezed there nicely. Clever shot. Using the percentages well.
11
Sign of huge experience there, Johnny. Tight to the sidewall, not that close to the top of the tin. Just mixing up his paces nicely, Shabana. Wonderful momentum out of the back corners.
You could hear the squeak there of Abouelghar's shoe. You hear, I remember when I was playing that most of the Pakistani and Egyptian players have that kind of lunge where they can stretch out so far, much more than the European players in general.
Yeah, it's understandable. It's part of the world where yoga was invented. And one reason why, naturally very, very flexible. It's in their genetics. But the Egyptians also possess that elasticity at times. But Shabana with his 3rd game ball in this tiebreak. Could be game over here. Or hit. Or hit.
You'll get it right eventually. That was down though. Oh, hello. Actually, Amr's keeping count for us of his unforced errors. Oh, that's not a bad pick up there. That would have been good enough to beat most players, but when you play players of the calibre of Shabana, Nick Matthew, Rami Ashore, the level goes up, and the quality of the shot you must produce to hit an outright winner needs to be even better. And a bit of a half shot out there on that classic Shabana forehand volley. Game ball number 4 now.
And now 13-12 game ball.
Yeah, bread and butter for Amr Shabana on the forehand. Certainly making this a hard first game for Abouelghar. Like I said, he had to play 2 matches of qualification. He's backing up well here, unbelievably well.
There's a bit the consensus around town here amongst the squash players and the squash public in Switzerland. They all want to see Shabana and Willstrop.
Sure they do. I think everyone does really, but still a long way to go yet.
Early doors, isn't it?
It is early doors. Oh, Shabana managing to sort it out in the end though. He led considerably at the beginning of the first game, and then the younger Egyptian coming back nicely, but I think it was the 4th game ball opportunity, so Amr Shabana takes the first game 14-12. He leads by 1 game to love.